Annyeong! Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys! Welcome back to our podcast. So my name is Asyura Talia and my friend
Zika, Nuzula, Balqisia.
We want to explain about inventory, guys.
Okay, Chia, what is inventory?
Inventory. In my opinion, inventory is a familiar term in the manufacturing business world. In addition, inventory or stock items are also often used in business that offer services or services. So, what exactly is stock? In general, stock goods are all goods, products, or raw materials owned by a company which are then sold for profit. Can you give me the example, Zika?
A screen printing business shop sells screen printing the shirt to consumer. Then the screen printing the shirt is a stock item. Meanwhile, the shop house where the business does production is the asset. Stock goods in the world of manufacturing business are not only in the form of finished product, but also raw material and semi-finished goods in the warehouse. These goods are also classified as stock goods because they are the foreigner of the final product of production, which will later be sold for profit. Then, if stock goods are closely related to the manufacturing business, the service companies not have the stock goods. Companies engines is service also have stock items. It is just that the shape is different from stock goods in manufacturing companies. Stock goods at service companies are not in the form of product or production raw materials, but in the form of a service or step related to the distribution of service to consumers. Can you give me the example here?
Example. In my opinion, the example is a law firm that offer consulting services in the field of law. Has an inventory of information and knowledge in the field of law, both criminal and civil, which is useful for consulting clients. Inventory type. There are many of inventory type, guys. So, stock goods also have various types depending on the company or industry that own them. The following are some types of inventory that you need to know. The first is MRO, goods inventory. The second is raw materials. The third is intermediate goods. Fourth is finished goods. 5 is buffer inventory. 6 is decoupling inventory. 7 is cycle inventory. And the last is inventory in transit, tips for managing inventory. Management of stock items is an important process to maintain the quality of stock items. As you know, stock items must be stored and managed properly to maintain the quality of the items. Disturbance or damage to stock goods can cause disruption to the production process and distribution of goods to consumers. Here are some inventory tips that you need to know. First is prioritize your inventory, and the second is audit your inventory periodically. The third is supplier performance analysis. The fourth is tracing your product and sales information. 5 is consistency in the receiving stocks, and the last is use stock item management systems. So, inventory is stock or inventory items owned by a company to be later used in the production process and distribute to consumers. Management of stock items is done using an inventory system. And the function of this inventory system is to make it easier for you to control and monitor the stock of products and stock items in your warehouse.
Oh, okay, I know. Stock items also have various types. These types depend on the company and the type of product. Not all companies have the same types of stock items. The way of managing stock items in each company is also different. This depends on the condition of the company and the ongoing work culture. Some of the previous inventory management types are an overview of how to manage stock item well and even efficiently. Helpful, this review about inventory or stock item can help you understand what inventory is and what is the importance of inventory management in a company.
Okay, thank you, Zika. Okay, so the benefit of inventory management. Inventory management challenges. The primary challenges of inventory management are having too much inventory and not being able to sell it, not having enough inventory to fulfill orders, and not understanding what items you have in inventory and where they are located. Other obstacles include the first is getting accurate stock details. If you don't have accurate stock details, there's no way to know when to refill stock or which stock moves well. And the second is poor process. Outdated or manual process can make work error prone and slow down operations. The third is changing customer demand. Customer taste and needs change constantly. If your system can't track trends, how will you know when their preference change and why? The last is using warehouse space well. Staff waste time if products are hard to locate. Mastering inventory management can help eliminate this challenge. So, Zika, do you know the different between inventory versus stocks? Can you explain it for me?
Yeah, inventory is often called stock in early business. Manager regularly ask the term stock on hand. They refer to products like apparel and houseware. Across industries, inventory more broadly referred to storage, sales goods and raw material and part used in production. Some people also say that the word stock is used more commonly in the UK to refer to inventory. Well, there is a difference between the two. The terms inventory and stock are often interchangeable. What are the different types in inventory? There are 20 different types of inventory. 12 different types of inventory. First, raw material, and then work in process, and then finished good, and then the commonly inventory, and then safety stock, and then package materials, and then cycle inventory, and then service inventory, transit, theoretical, exchange, and maintenance, repair, and operation. Some people do not recognize MRO as the type of inventory. Inventory management process. If you product on demand, the inventory management process starts when a company receives and customer order and continues until the order site. Other ways, the process begins when you forecast your demand and plans costs for the required raw materials or components. Other part of the process include analyzing sell trend and organizing the storage of product in warehouse. How inventory management works. The goal of inventory management is to understand stock level and stock location in warehouse. Inventory management software track the flow of product from supplier through the production process to the customer. In the warehouse, inventory management tracks stock receipt, packing and packaging, the shipping.
Inventory management technique and terms. I will explain it in my opinion. Some inventory management techniques use formulas and analysis to plan stock. Others rely on procedures. All methods aim to improve accuracy. The techniques a company uses depends on its needs and stock. Find out which technique works best for your business by reading Guide to Inventory Management Technique. Here's a summary of them. The first is ABC analysis. This method works by identifying the most and least popular types of stocks. The second is batch tracking. This method groups similar items to track expiration dates and trace the defective items. The third is bulk shipments. This method considers unpackaged material that suppliers load directly into ships or trucks. It involves buying, storing, and shipping inventory in bulk. The fourth is consignment. When practicing consignment inventory management, your business won't pay its supplier until a given product is sold. That supplier also retains ownership of the inventory until your company sells it. And then the fifth is cross-docking. Using this method, you'll unload item directly from a supplier truck to the delivery truck. Warehousing is essentially eliminated. The sixth is demand forecasting. This form of predictive analytic helps predict customer demands. And then the next is dropshipping. In the practice of dropshipping, the supplier ships items directly from its warehouse to the customers. The next is economic order quantity, or EOQ. This formula shows exactly how much inventory a company should order to reduce holding and other costs. The next is VIVO and LIVO. First in, first out, as we know as VIVO, means you move to all the stock first, last in, first out, stock first. And then the last in, first out, or we call LIVO. Consider that prices always rise. So the most chased inventory is the most expensive and to sold first. And the next is just-in-time inventory, or we call as GIT. Companies use this method in an effort to maintain the lowest stock levels possible before a reveal. And the next is land manufacturing. Land manufacturing, this is methodology focuses on removing waste or any item that does not provide value to the customer from the manufacturing system. Next is material requirements planning, or we call as MRP. This MRP, the system handles planning, scheduling and inventory control for manufacturing. Next is minimum order quantity. A company that relies on minimum order quantity will be order minimum amounts of inventory from wholesalers in each other to keep costs low. Next is reorder point formula. Businesses use this formula to find the minimum amount of stock they should have before reordering. They manage their inventory accordingly. Next is perpetual inventory management. This technique entails recording stock sales and usage in real time. Read the definition question on perpetual inventory to learn more about this practice. And next is a safety stock. An inventory management entails that priorities safety stock will ensure there's always extra stock set aside in case the company can't replenish those items. And the last is Six Sigma. This is a database method for removing waste from businesses as it relates to inventory. So that all our explanation about inventory. Thank you for attention. Nice to see you guys. Bye.
Assalamualaikum.